I'm Pamela Portnoy, and no one's okay. Welcome back to No One's Okay. I am back. I am here today with the one, the only, Alexa Marie Anderson.
Hello.
I like that little wave.
I don't know why
It's me. Yes. Hello. Alexa, thank you so much for joining me today on this first episode of season 3.
Oh my gosh, that's nuts.
It is crazy, right?
That's amazing. Yes, season 3.
Yeah, I wanted this to be a more kind of beautiful, lavish experience in studio with the nice lights and the desk and the sign. But alas, the studio has been flooded, which really, really sucks. And it's going to take a few weeks to figure out. So in the meantime, I'm going to be doing the Zoobies. So to our YouTube watchers, thanks to your patience, we'll be back to the studio setup soon, I hope. But in the meantime, we're here.
Yes. Making it happen.
And Happy New Year to everybody.
I can't believe it's 2022. Like, what are we doing?
It feels exactly the same.
I was at work today and I was putting dates on something and I kept putting 2021 and I was like, am I okay? I personally feel like 2020, we had 2 years of 2020. Like, I don't feel like 2021 happened. People are like, I don't feel like 2020 happened. I'm like, oh no, that happened. But like, it just kept happening.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are in that headspace where it's like, okay, we're going into the third year of the same thing, the same screens, the same bullshit.
Yeah, it's weird. And I felt like, I don't know, I didn't think it would like affect my like, I don't know, like the thought of like time, like I feel like I lost time or like time didn't, some time like didn't happen.
That's what it feels like too. And sometimes it's very, at least for me, I'm going to only speak for myself. During this time, it's felt like I can easily like not live life because it's a constant limbo of waiting. It feels like a lot of people ask, like, when are we going to go back to normalcy? And, you know, I don't know the answer to that question, but I do know like I'm going to try harder this year to live a little bit more of the life and have more fun. And I mean safely, but also like I don't want to like sit here waiting forever. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. I feel like 2021 was a roller coaster of that. Like I had moments where I was like living like fancy free, and then I had moments where I was like, we're all gonna die. Like literally that's how I felt. Like it was either like we're doing great or we're doing awful. Like there was no in between for me.
You were basically Jennifer Lawrence in the TV interview in the movie that we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss Don't Look Up. We're all going to die.
We're all gonna, no, and I didn't even mean to like quote that. And that
you
just
did.
Like, was my like internal monologue. So like I actually really related to this film.
I just had it on as like a refresh. I watched like the first third for the second time. Why'd you pick this one?
Well, I think initially I picked it because I'm super passionate about the topic of
the world ending or asteroids or
I mean, like, okay, I'm not passionate about the world ending, but I'm passionate about speaking out about like climate change and what it can do to the earth. And
listening to scientists.
Yes. That has been something that is like I'm learning to be I'm trying to be more calm about it when I speak about it to humans that don't agree, because I'm not so great at that. But yeah, I think I think they did it in a very clever way. I also like, I'm a sucker for anything that's like satirical, and this was very, very satirical, and I really enjoy that type of dark humor. So I definitely think it's like a taste for sure, because I know there's some people that didn't enjoy that. I don't know, what were your thoughts?
I really enjoyed it. It's not a movie that I'm going to watch over and over again. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about Don't Look Up. If you haven't watched it yet, there will be spoilers in this discussion. It's on Netflix. Check it out. It's directed by Adam McKay, written by Adam McKay and David Sirota. Cast as Leo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, Kate Blanchett, Rob Morgan, Jonah Hill, Mark Rylance, Tyler Perry, Timothy Chalamet. I cannot speak. Timothy Chalamet, Ron Perlman, maybe if I slow it down, Ariana Grande, and Melanie Linsky. Amazing. So, I mean, epic cast.
Super casual.
I was like, oh my God, it's going to take me so long to read the list of unbelievable stars. I'm going to speed it up.
8 Oscar nominees in the cast or like something like that. Like, right? Yeah.
It's a lot.
A lot.
I really very much enjoyed it. I love pretty much everything Adam McKay does. For all you Step Brothers, Anchorman, Big Short fans out there, Talladega Nights. I love how he kind of marries. I love when he tackles drama, but it still has the edge of the comedy. Because it's like the absurd is so close to tragedy. And I feel like he really has a way of making, you know, a serious thing palatable through humor.
Yes.
Because the messages in this movie are so deep and relatable and very like topical with the world that we're living in right now. And I honestly was putting off watching it for a while because I'm like, I don't need the current world reflected back at me right now. Like I feel like I've definitely got an eyeballs worth of reality and I kind of want escapism right now. Even though this was a work of fiction, but it was just like really close to home, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah. It's what you said too. Like, it's not a movie I'm going to watch over and over again. I was excited to watch it because of the topic. I think also that's so much of what I love about film is that we get to do this, right? Like, we get to play and make one of these hard-hitting topics. We can add the comedy in there, and because that's life, right? Like, there are times where I'm like crying and then I'm laughing, and you know what I mean? Like, something tragic is happening and you find the funny bits, right? Because that happens. So yeah, I think it makes it, I think you're right. It makes it palatable. And yeah, there were so many moments and there were like little things that happened that like, I can't even like think of right now. But there's one moment I'm thinking of, and it's with I guess it's the phone company, right? The big phone company.
Bast, I think.
Bast.
Right?
I couldn't think of the name, and I was like about to look it up, and I it's like escaping me right now. But like, I think it's the first scene where he's on stage, Mark Rylance, who plays Peter Isherwell. Is that his character name?
Peter Isherwell, yeah.
Yes. When he's first introduced and he's on stage and they're like going through like that, like, I think they're like mimicking, what is it? The meta words are escaping me right
it's
now.
Basically what Facebook is getting rebranded
yes.
as.
Yes. And it's like, if you don't know how, it's like this whole thing about like if you don't know how you're feeling, like your phone will know. Like that, like I'm not saying it how they said it in the film. Like,
that's kind of already what it feels like,
right? And I like that moment for me. I was like, oh my God, like that's like what we're doing. Like, no one knows what to do without these things, right? Like, and that was like a very like hard-hitting moment for me as well, because it's like sometimes I feel like we're finding so much purpose in this. In social media, like, this is my purpose. Like, even just before I hopped on with you, I was like having like a mini crisis, which happens every once in a while, you know, when you're feeling like, oh, am I doing all the things right? And you're like scrolling through your like Instagram feed, your pictures, and like comparing, and like, you're like, oh, I don't know, like maybe I should be more of this, or I should be more of that. Like I go through like, has that ever happened to you?
Honestly, it has happened to me before. And I cut down a lot of social media time, especially over the holiday, because I, you know, was trying to step away from any
Yes.
sort of semblance of work. And I felt healthier. And honestly, I have like been very, very aware of how scrolling through Instagram, sometimes it's fun, sometimes there's like really good content, and I like the fact that I can stay in touch with people that I otherwise wouldn't stay in touch with, blah blah blah. That being said, I feel like shit most of the time when I'm scrolling and people are posting their highlights, and I do the same. It's like I feel like this podcast, aside from my personal life where I talk to people that I'm close to, like is a place where I can be like, hey, I couldn't get out of bed today. Hey, you know, and there's none of that on Instagram. And if there is, it has to be like a 5-paragraph explanation along with like, I don't know. And if they somehow like, people are, and I love this, I do this, and I know people that do this, but and they switch it into like a positive thing, and I'm like, sometimes I just don't want to be inspired. Does that make any sense?
No, I just think it's
I don't want to be pushed to be inspired. Not today.
No, I'm with you. Or it's like I'm doing like all of the positive affirmations almost make me feel like I'm doing things wrong. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm not, you know, I'm not having the positive outlook or the perspective or change, whatever it be.
Oh, maybe. No, I just put negativity out into the world.
Yes.
Oops, it's like, shit, I need to take it back.
Yeah. It's like this constant, like, I don't know. And listen, like, I'm not judgmental if like that's your thing. Like I get it. Like I totally get it. But
I think it's so important, but I've gotten to the point where I don't think I'm mentally well enough to look at it anymore.
Right. Like I just, but also like I have to remind myself, like my biggest reminder is when I start to get in that headspace, I'm like, this isn't real. This isn't real.
Yeah, no.
This is real. What we're doing right now is real. When I meet you for a drink,
that's
it's real. You
know, it's a little too real, but
yes. Like a little too real. But like, no, like you have to remember, like I have to even like I have to train my brain. Like when I see certain pictures, I'm like, oh my God, like that looks so amazing. Or like, that's one picture. Like I can do this, like the angles and the lighting and the whatever. I'm not saying it doesn't look great or it's not like, you know what I'm saying? But like I can make, it's like that thing, like, oh, it's like that picture of the apple. I think that like spun around Instagram for a hot minute. It was like the one side of like the shiny apple, and then like on the other side that you didn't see was like a bite out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Sounds sort of familiar.
Yeah. And it was like this thing that was like circulating that was like, not everything you see on Instagram is basically that was the thing. And it's so true. It's so true, but it's hard to read. You have to physically think, like remind yourself, because your brain like goes off in like different places and starts thinking that everything you see on here is like what's really happening in people's lives.
Yeah.
Or what it really looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just went off on a tangent, but
no, I think that's really appropriate because that's also a thing that goes on in the movie that we're discussing a lot.
Yes.
Like, you know, when they were in the waiting room for the news show, and Ariana Grande's character is there, and you know, everyone they showed basically the things that, you know, society cares about the most, and it was kind of just like this kind of gross mirror.
Yes, when they're like so worried about her relationship and like not the meteor, and that's so,
or worried about the midterms and not the meteor.
Yeah, like that is so freaking accurate. And like, not to like throw out, like, I don't know if I should say it. I think I can, but like, I feel like there's so many people that are like, still like, so they're more interested in what the Kardashians are doing than like what's actually happening in our freaking world. And it drives me crazy.
That's why I think movies like this are important, because a lot of the time, and I'm guilty of this, like I haven't been taking in as much news as I usually like to, because of my, I'm trying to keep a happy space. It was
Yeah.
kind of a tough holiday for me mentally. And I'm like, I'm going to stay off of my news sources for a little bit for my own good. But like that feeling, I know I'm going to be back, but that stagnancy and that like ignorance is bliss kind of vibe that I did to protect myself is the general consensus, it seems.
Yeah.
And I feel like when these movies kind of reflect it, and I'm gonna obviously see this movie because of the cast and the director and the writers. It gets you kind of thinking about what's real.
Totally. And just our information right now is like so like all of the information that's circulating right now, it's so troublesome. Like there's so many different things out there. And it's like if you search, it's almost like that thing where like if you search with your opinion, like if I Google something, like, oh, like it's the way you word it, like if I already feel like I'm swayed to a different way, if I search like asking a question, I'm trying to think of an example to like explain what I'm talking about.
The Social Dilemma.
Yes.
Explained exactly how this happens.
Yes.
You search something, ask for something, look at something even for an extended period of time, which is what, a second online. You're going to get more of that content, and that divides people because it leads people on like very deep wormholes.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's just like
deep rabbit holes.
Like I'm getting one side of the story, and someone else may be getting another side of the story based off of what they clicked and touched and all the things. So like they're in like a completely different universe than me, and they're believing in a completely different thing that they know to be true based off of what they're being shown on social media. It's wild, and
it is wild.
Very destructive. I think that again, the movie was it showed that completely how destructive it is.
For sure. And I listened to Sarah Silverman's podcast, and she often talks about how people are apathetic until something shows up at their door. And I definitely saw that in this film, because people literally did not listen, did not care, were completely apathetic until they're like, it's right fucking there, look up. And then of course there's like a whole group of people that are like, don't look up, like ignore the reality.
That is honestly
not surprising, but
that's one of my biggest pet peeves. And it's actually fascinating because I feel like my brain works in the opposite way of that. Whereas like I'm constantly thinking, this could be you, this could happen to us, this could happen to you, this could happen to you. So much so that it probably is unhealthy in a way as well.
Well, it creates anxiety.
It creates anxiety. But it really, really frustrates me that I honestly, it could bring me to tears, and has actually. Like I've had conversations with like family members and things, and like, because we don't all, like, everyone has
different opinions,
and we all have those people in our lives, right?
Absolutely.
And it's literally brought me to tears because I'm like, I literally like, I always say like, if this was you, I know you would think differently. I know you would. I know you would. And in the moment, they always want to say, oh, no. And I'm like, no, like you can't, no, like just no. Because most of the time, like, unless it affects you, like they don't, a lot of people, I shouldn't say like they or what generalize, like there's some people that until it physically affects them, they could care less.
Absolutely. And at that point, it's like too late.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Definitely. That's definitely not a happy thought in my mind. That's not a happy thought in my mind. But to turn this around and think of a funny thought, Jonah Hill's character made me laugh on many occasions.
Oh my God, he was so frustrating. I was so irritated.
He was frustrating, but also like kind of freaking funny.
It was hilarious. It was truly hilarious.
I think it's like in the trailer, maybe even too, when he's like, I know, but he's like, it's so stressful. And they're like yelling about the meter, and he's like, you're like breathing. It's like really stressing me out. I adore him, and I think he's funny. And then at the end, I think it's like somewhere near the end, this is also like, oh gosh, such a parallel, when he's like thinking, he's like, I think we should take a moment to like be thankful for like our things, like material stuff,
Material
like,
things.
yeah, material things, like
those
he does
are
that
great
whole,
too.
he's like, those are great too, and those can all go away. And I'm just like, oh my god. Like, I think also the Birkin bag was his idea. I think I read somewhere that it was like his idea to he carries the Birkin bag
amazing
throughout. Oh my god, so funny. I love little little things, shit like that. I like acted like we can't swear. I like covered that up. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, so
I
proper.
was like, oops. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I think it's a really clever film. I think if you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch.
It is worth a watch. Check it out on Netflix, you guys. Alexa, I had one more question before we get to the important question. This is going to be a short, casual episode today because I will tell you after when you ask me back.
Okay.
We're doing great. Did you see how spoiler, did you expect Meryl to die as she did?
No, I did not.
Isn't that the best thing when you know, but then you forget and you have the moment?
Yes. What?
They literally told us that she was gonna die.
I know.
And how? And then
you
just are taken by surprise. I don't know. It was some weird different world dinosaur.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That ate her.
Yeah.
And it was very satisfying. But God, she was terrible. She was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. She was greatly terrible.
I know. She was epic.
She was epic.
Very good.
Everyone was so epic. I can't, yeah.
Great performances all around. I really vibed with Jennifer Lawrence's character.
Yeah.
I was like, I react the way she did.
Yeah.
I'm lying. I have another question. What would you do if you knew you had 6 months before Earth got destroyed?
I honestly, I don't know. I would definitely be trying to warn people. Desperately trying to warn people and tell people. But gosh, you know what? I feel like I would just, if it was too late, right? Like nothing we can do. I like them having dinner at the end felt right.
That felt right to me too.
Like, I feel like I would have done something like that. Like I would have been like, okay, well, let's just enjoy
each other.
Yeah, let's just enjoy each other.
I'd probably smoke some weed too.
Yeah, I'd probably like pop open a bottle of champagne, like grab a bottle of expensive champagne and like cook my heart out and light all the candles. Frank Sinatra would be on.
A cuddle puddle.
Yeah, like there would just be like
just love on everybody.
Right, like that would just be the way to go out, you know, like drinking dirty martinis and dancing around the kitchen. Like, I don't know. That's what I would do. Yes.
I like that answer. I would do the same.
It took me a while to get there, but I made it.
You painted a beautiful and thorough picture for us. I liked it very much.
I feel like you would also do something similar. Yes.
Yeah, I for sure would.
Plus, like lighting your sage.
There's no point. I might as well invite the ghosties to join the party.
Yeah, you'd be like having a seance. You'd be like, okay, well,
get ready for us. We're coming.
That's what you would be doing.
Alexa, are you okay?
I love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm good. Actually, I'm doing better than okay.
Okay, good.
I'm doing better than okay. I have been sleeping well, eating well, getting my exercise in. So I'm feeling dandy, honestly.
Do you want to share why that's happening to you?
I know, guys. I'm doing dry January. Who would have ever
You know
thought?
what? If you felt drawn to doing it, I commend you.
Yeah,
You do you.
I just wanted to like see how it felt because like I've never gone. I mean, obviously, I've never gone a full month without drinking. Like I've been 21 forever. Obviously, I've gone months, years without drinking, but like it's been a minute since I've taken like a full month's break from alcohol. Because like that's for sure. Like I'm not gonna lie, like that's for sure my vice. Like
I don't know if I've done that since I've turned 21.
Done what?
Had a month off of drinking.
Yeah, no, I didn't. This is like legit the first time I'm doing it. And I just wanted to see, I wanted to like a little body like reset and see. I also like, I don't have trouble falling asleep, but like I was waking up a lot and I could go, it wasn't like I was staying up, like I could go back to sleep, but like I would wake up like 3 times.
That's a thing
maybe.
for sure.
So I just wanted to like, yeah. So I'm going to do the full month, dry January. I'm also getting at least 15 minutes of exercise in each day.
I love that for you.
I don't know how I settled on 15 minutes. I think because I was like, well, if I hate it really bad, like 15 minutes is not that long,
For sure.
If I really don't want to work out that day, like I can do it. I can at least do 15 minutes, right? Like, I don't know.
I like that. I think it's a great plan because it's a number that doesn't seem as daunting. Like you could do anything for 15 minutes.
Right. That's kind of how I felt. So that's what and obviously some days I do more, but like at least 15 minutes has been like super helpful. And yeah, I do feel like less anxious and like I'm sleeping better. Yeah. So we'll see.
I like that. That's great.
Yeah. How are you okay?
No, I'm not.
Dude, do tell.
I'd say today I'm better than okay.
Yay!
But like it could turn real quick. It could turn. It's honestly hour by hour the situation.
What is the situation? Are we allowed to know?
No, just like the mental health.
Oh, just in general.
It's hour to hour. She's a different human.
Gotcha. I see.
Yeah. The holiday went by way too fast. It blew by unexpectedly. And that always sort of happens to me for the winter break because I have like a large to-do list that I try to get done, but I also set time aside to enjoy. And I think in my head, a proper holiday break is always like 3 weeks to a month, but this one was like a week and a half. It felt, wasn't it like a week and a half this time? Ish.
I don't know. I felt like I didn't feel like it went too fast for me personally.
I'm jealous. Yeah.
But sometimes it does. It has in the past. So I know that feeling. Also, I feel like you did have things happening.
I had a lot going on. So I feel like there were days for sure. Like I stayed in bed all day and I watched TV and I chilled. But there were so many things that I had envisioned getting done that honestly got pushed to this year. Have you ever seen those memes? Have you been like watching those TikToks where it's like, oh my God, I think I'm going to post this so that people know what I'm talking about. I should make this TikTok, but it's like, I don't trust her. I don't know her. And it's basically 2022 me looking at 2021 me leaving work for the new year.
Oh,
does that make sense? Yeah. You guys, I'll make the TikTok. I'll get off. You should do it. I'm not eloquent right now, but yeah, I like everything that I wanted to get done during the break. Like I'm trying to pick at now, and I feel like I wanted to have more episodes ready, but like COVID and the studio and my own schedule, and I'm moving, and it's a lot going on. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be moving. I'm very grateful, and I have a lot of like really good things going on, some really exciting things, but some days it's really hard for me to kind of see the whole picture, and I kind of zoom in on something that isn't that important, and I like stress myself out and I spiral out of control and I'm like, everything is shit. But really it's like, okay, hello, I have all this other stuff going on.
Yes. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. I feel like that's something that happens to me quite frequently as well. And it's just, what's interesting though? Like, was there a time where you weren't, like you just said, what you just said, you were like, I reminded myself I have all these good things going on. Do you feel like there was a point in time where it didn't come as easy to you to like remind yourself of all the good things happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Me too. That's growth.
Yeah. Yay.
We're
not okay. We're growing.
We're growing. We're growing.
I love some growing women.
Yes.
Amazing. Yes. Alexa, in case for our new listeners, I know that our old listeners know where to follow you. Where do our new listeners follow you?
Alexa Marie Anderson _.
We remembered it now.
I remembered it. There is no 1 anymore. There used to be a 1. We got rid of the 1, just _.
I like it. Nice and clean.
Yes. Crisp.
Gorgeous. Alexa, I'm so happy you joined me today for this very casual, very subdued with my hot toddy in hand.
Love it.
Zoom from our houses session. Yes. We're doing great.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy you joined me. You're always welcome anytime. Of course, you know that. And yeah, I just felt like this is kind of appropriate, an appropriate way to start the year. We're doing the best we can.
Yeah, we're growing. We're just doing the best we can. We're works in progress here.
Love a good work in progress. And, I missed recording. I feel very rusty, but here we are. And hopefully this will be out very soon. Yeah. And if you're listening out there, it's out. You're welcome. Okay, we're doing great. Anything else before we wrap this sucker up?
I've got nothing. That's all she wrote.
Beautiful. That is all she wrote. We will see you guys next time. Bye. I should stop the recording now. This podcast was produced by Jason Crow and me, Pamela Portnoy, with music by Jordan Ross Weinhold. You can follow the show on Instagram and Facebook at No One's Okay, and please don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. We love kind reviews. No One's Okay is also on YouTube, so if you want to see our faces, please subscribe to our channel. An extra special thank you goes out to Sean Moore, Claire Palmer, Jackson Palmer, Tiffany Haymoff, and Alexa Marie Anderson. This podcast was recorded at Soundworks Studios. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time.